Can you handle this?
I can.
Are you sure?
I can take it.
If you end up crying,
I will not cry.
I'm gonna edit it out. So, has anybody ever been rude to you?
Yes. Has anyone ever been rude to you?
No.
Never? Have I been rude to you?
No.
Oh, I have been so rude to you.
Have not.
Oh, come on.
Never will say that.
Hey, welcome to Love Stuff, episode number 6, I think.
Yeah, it's 6.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we're talking about rudeness because 1 Corinthians chapter 13 says that love is not rude.
Yeah. Other translations say love does not dishonor others.
Right.
So, love does not dishonor others. So, we figured maybe a good way to figure out how to dishonor somebody would first be to figure out how to honor someone.
We used to live in this small town.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a Chinese restaurant in town.
Oh, this is a great story.
The owners, Tony and Yuki, a cute young couple, were at the restaurant all the time, except for when they would come to our church and participate in an English as a second language program that we volunteered with. So anyway, Tony and Yuki came to these classes again and again and got a lot out of them. And as a thank you, they said they wanted to have us and a couple of other couples from the church over to the restaurant after hours for some real Chinese food.
Yeah, that made me nervous.
So we show up that night at the restaurant and there is a table. All the tables are squished together to make this long table. The table is full of food. Various like tripe, belly, stomach type of things.
Mm-hmm. Like feet, chicken feet.
And they kept bringing food out that like plate after plate after plate of more and more and more food. It was such a beautiful thing, the way Tony and Yuki wanted to honor us. They probably spent like $500 on the food for this meal. Who knows how long cooking, all in an effort to say thank you and to lift us up and to really honor us with some really special hospitality.
This church we were at decided to throw us a baby shower. They're like all of these special things for me. Special chair up in front. Everyone else is sitting in rows like in a theater and watching me up on the stage in my special chair. Give me this thing that it's a corsage but made from baby socks. And there's flowers in there too. And then there's also like a tiny baby and a rattle. It's this big.
Like a fake, like...
Yes, a tiny fake baby. Then like someone comes up to me and they've made me a plate. I felt like a Southern queen. I was literally like lifted up. I was like on a stage.
Because you were in the special chair.
Yeah, I was in the special chair. If that's what it means to be honored, people decide to do something special for you. Like to lift you up. Your wants and your needs are important to them. So what would be dishonoring someone?
Yeah, so it would be the opposite of that.
Oh, there you go.
So honoring is when I take you and put you above me. Right? Here you are, you're Mama Bear.
I'm Mama Bear.
And I'm LBJ. You're here and I'm here, and then dishonoring is when I push you down here and I'm up here. If you were
if both people were rude, look what's happening. Just like...
If honoring is lifting up, then dishonoring is putting down. I just am not paying attention to your wants, needs, or desires, or I'm aware of them and not interested in them. So that is also sometimes called being rude.
Mm-hmm. That's why they call it a put down. That's rude. Do you have any put downs? Do you have any you used to use in middle school you can pull out?
Your mama.
Oh no, don't make your mama jokes.
Oh.
I'm a mama. I got put downs in school. When I was in middle school, they called me goat girl for a while. So my mom wouldn't let me shave my legs in 6th grade. And so the boys would make goat noises when I walked in the room. Just like that.
Would you say that was rude?
I would say that was rude. It was a put down.
So if Paul says love doesn't dishonor others, then okay, they weren't loving you. But does that sort of thing really happen in a marriage?
Oh my goodness. Yes. We'd only been married for a couple years. And we entered this new group of friends. And all of these friends were really fun to be around. We had a great time. Everybody was always cracking jokes, and we had a lot of fun. It seemed like there was a pattern that every time that we'd get together, we'd end up standing outside a restaurant, or we'd end up standing outside of church or somewhere, and we would be in this circle, and people would start insulting their spouses. So they were all telling jokes, but all the jokes were insults, and they were only aimed at their spouse.
How cheap your husband is, what a jerk he was in high school, or like all the women he was with, that he's lazy. And everybody laughed, but it was that awkward kind of laughter, and kind of pained expressions on the spouse's face, and then attempts to swing back a little bit.
I remember one day we were all in this circle, and I jumped in, so I made some crack about Justin. And it was something that I thought was pretty innocent, and everybody laughed, and I thought, wow, I'm a part of the crowd. And then we got in the car, and it was just really sad, and kind of angry, and I didn't know why. He said he was just hurt. And he finally told me, after I kind of pulled it out of him, that it had really hurt his feelings, that I had made this joke about him in front of all these people. I think he said, I don't feel safe around you when you do things like that. And since then, we've really come to understand that honoring your spouse is the only way to make your spouse feel safe with you. They know that you are always going to be lifting them up, and that you will never be a person who's going to put them down.
So, in sort of response to that experience, we developed a rule, basically, in our marriage. We don't say anything about the other person to anyone else that isn't affirming. I know that when we're in a group, for example, and Jennifer starts to say something about me, I don't have to cringe and wonder if maybe she's going to make fun of me or divulge something that makes me uncomfortable or whatever, and vice versa, right? She doesn't have to worry about that with me. It's not like we pretend that everything's always perfect, because it's not, but we're just not going to throw each other under the bus around other people.
This being rude or this dishonoring your spouse is something that's so common, particularly when you're in a group of girls and you're a woman, or if you're a guy and you're in a group of men. I don't know if guys do this as much as girls do, but there just seems to be this...
We're a lot nicer than you guys.
There just seems to be this piling on. When one woman will start complaining about her husband and how he just never helps with the kids, someone else will chime in and they'll be like, oh, my husband never helps with the kids either. He just gets kind of worse and worse and worse. And I think a lot of people do it just because everybody else does. It's a hard thing to excuse yourself from. It makes people uncomfortable when I sit in a circle like that and I don't share anything. Oh, Jennifer's married to the preacher's perfect, never does anything wrong. And I've had to say to people before, my husband's not perfect, but it's not your business what he does.
And when she does that, she goes, she snaps.
Just like that. And when your spouse feels like you're going to always honor them, they're going to act up into the honor you've given them. When you put someone down, they live down into your expectations.
Rudeness might take various shapes. Could look like cutting off this person as they try to tell a story and correcting every single little detail. No, it was 1985. No, it was Manhattan. It wasn't Brooklyn.
Interrupting him makes it look like I don't respect him. I'm like, he's not doing a good enough job telling the story.
Could look like just saying something insensitive, just between the two of you, that you just didn't need to say. He makes an offhand comment about her weight, let's say. Just wasn't thinking about her and her feelings. Or he snaps at her because she came home late and he was inconvenienced, and instead of hey, this really made things hard for me, it's just a sarcastic jab. All of that is rude, and all of it dishonors another person. You dishonor because of negligence, because you weren't focused on honoring. Sometimes you dishonor out of defense because this person's dishonoring you and you feel like you have to do that to survive. There could be different reasons we dishonor one another, but the bottom line is love does not dishonor.
Yeah.
Should we give some homework?
Sure, let's give some homework.
So homework this time, find some opportunities, and you'll probably create them, where in a moment you have been rude, you have somehow dishonored the other person, realize it, and then just quick come back and say, oops, that wasn't loving.
Oh.
Oops, that wasn't loving. We can just kind of, you got to be able to correct.
Okay.
You got to be able to reorient.
Can you say it to the other person? Because it's real lighthearted.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so if the other person says it.
Yes, and then the other person can say it to you. So if I realize I've dishonored you,
Mm-hmm.
I need to say, oops, that wasn't loving.
Okay.
And if I don't realize it,
Then I can say, oops, that wasn't loving.
that's right.
Oh, fun.
That's right.
Isn't that a much nicer way than saying, that was rude?
How rude. Okay, so there you go. Oops, that wasn't loving. It could go either way, but you can't just say it to your spouse. Like you need to,
Yeah.
don't just call them out.
Yeah, this is gonna be like bumpers in bowling for you this week. It's gonna help you stay out of the gutter, right? So the first time that something accidentally rude comes out, it allows you to immediately self-correct. I like it.
Okay, let's do it.
Do it. Goodbye.
Hey, thanks a lot for watching. Check out some of the other episodes if you haven't already. We are working our way through that passage in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 that tells us all about what love is and how love behaves. If you haven't already, we'd love for you to subscribe and share this with your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, and your mom, because maybe she'll watch it as much as mine does.
That is cute.
See ya.
Bye. I can go get our kids. I love you.
Adios.
Adios.